Hello y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is Lady Nika, and with just a little bit of in the news and some shit. You know how we do it every weekend, same shit. I don't have a whole lot of different news stories that I really want to bring to you all. I'm only going to touch bases on maybe one or two, and then we'll get to the shit part, because the shit part is actually going to involve me talking about them R&B Divas, honey. But anyway, first news story that I'm sure it's captured the hearts and minds and TV screens of most of us in the continental USA anyway, and it's the killing of Walter Scott by Officer Michael, I forgot his name. Is it Slugger? I don't know the motherfucker's name, but from what I understand, there was a police stop, and when he stopped Mr. Scott, I don't know what made Mr. Scott take off running to this, I guess it's an abandoned parking lot or whatever, but he was said to have, ran in that direction, and, according to the first reports that the officer filed, he basically lied and said that Mr. Scott attempted to steal his taser, but I think it was like days later, and someone came forward saying that they had videotape what actually went down, and you can clearly see him shooting this man. You can see the one. I think 5 caught him, because I could see the 5 jerks. He fired a total of 8 rounds. 5 of them hit the man, and you could see him calling for backup on the video, and then you see this man take the taser and go over and drop it over by Mr. Scott's body. What I can say is I'm glad that the mayor and the police chief hurry up and distance themselves from this situation, because, oh shit, y'all, I've been out here doing yard work, so I might be a little bit everywhere with this hair. But he being brought up on murder charges, y'all. Yet again, here we go. I'm gonna be honest with you, because of what I saw with Eric Garner, I can't get happy and say I know for certain this man is going to be made to, come to justice for what he's done. We just saw cases, like I said, of clear-cut murder, and the officer was never even charged. So I don't really know how to feel about something like that. All I can say is it just makes you more and more fearful if you got kids, teenage boys and young men growing up out here. I fear every day my son walk, because he walks around the neighborhood. My son is very, friendly. He's not overly friendly to where he's stupid, but, very respectable young man. And I've always taught my boys, no matter what, respect the law. If they stop you, answer their questions. You cooperate with them to the fullest, because anything could happen. And we've seen that. Just makes me feel really sad for the Scott family that they lost a loved one. My condolences goes up to those people and their family, his friends, and everybody, who's involved with this tragedy. When is it gonna end, guys? I mean, when is it gonna end? I saw no reason from the footage that I've seen for him to have taken that man's life like that. And then, he had no conviction of the hearts behind it, because he went on to lie about the situation, which was, child, thank God that someone came through. But until I hear that this man is actually getting time or something like that, I'm not going to get too excited, because history has shown us that even with black and white proofs in their faces, sometimes these officers are able to get off on doing, not doing their jobs. It's a whole lot of cops out here that want to do right, But from what we've seen, it's a lot of cops that don't want to do right, and they take their badge as a sign of authority, so much so that they can make the rules and break the rules. You see? So I don't know. I'm hoping and praying that he does get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I hope there's no loopholes he can jump around and eventually get off on this charge, because it was a clear-cut case of murder, because that man wasn't doing anything to make you feel threatened, as you had originally stated in your report that, that was the case. I was really, really glad at how fast they did take on to this case and, bring him up on charges, arrest him and everything. It just, y'all, I don't know what to say about the police department. It's like we going backwards in time. With everything that we've gone through, in this country, at what point will we stop doing stupid, at what point can we live together harmoniously? I guess that time won't come, I guess we'll never be able to fully relax and live in this world without worrying about somebody who got a problem with the color of our skin. I don't allow the color of somebody's skin to stop me from having any type of interaction with them people whatsoever, because that's just not who the hell I am. I have a preference in my, my personal life as far as dating or whatnot, but I treat everybody, the way I want to be treated, honestly. But we're not there yet, Through all of the Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, we still here today, dealing with the same type of shit, It's just saddening. It's saddening. It makes you worry every time you walk out your door what's going to happen. Because, we don't have no major media cases that I'm aware of. Y'all fact checkers know, you can leave it down there in that discussion area. But, females are targeted, but they're really targeting our black men. And something has to be done, It has to go beyond just, making a few marches and setting up protests, and rallying only for so long, and then it fades out. Something definite and something long-lasting needs to be put into place. I don't know what it is, y'all. I don't know what it's going to take. Because Ferguson, they protested and they rallied and they did this. I read an article earlier in the week where they've actually elected 2 black people to the city council. It took somebody's child dying out on the ground for that to happen, but all right, I digress. At what point, what is it going to take to bring about a change? Acceptance. I don't get it. I don't know what's the answer. I don't know any solutions to it. It just seems like that black people, we don't complete the journey. We'll start it just like, when the baby, the Mike Brown and the Trayvon Martins, when these kids are hurt or killed or whatnot, we go after, reform, better reformed laws. We go for, trying to make sure people are prosecuted. We march, we rally, we get in contact with our local congressmen, senators, city council people. We do all of that at that moment, but as soon as the spotlight is off of us, it's like some of the I don't know if it's because it loses media coverage that it dies out and you don't hear anything else about it, or is it that it just people stop being a main point of interest. The cameras are gonna go where the stories are the hottest at. So I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know, but it just seems like we don't really, we say we want equality, we want to get past the racism and everything, but what are we doing to help us get to that point nowadays? Whether the spotlight is on or the cameras are on, whatever movement that you're trying to make, to better your community and the people, the people that live within your community. I think that even when the cameras are gone, you still should push forth with whatever you're trying to do, if it's something positive. I don't think that you're supposed to, give up on it because now it's not, featured on CNN or MSNBC. What difference does it make? If it's for the betterment of your people, your community, then it should be a continuous fight. Continuous fight. I just don't know, that saddened me, y'all, to see that. It really did. It saddened me because it's just like every couple months now, it's something else, and it's always involving a police officer and a black person, a black male. I guess that's probably why I don't know if it was on my Facebook timeline or did they actually send it to me. I'm not quite certain, y'all. I forget. But I saw a video earlier in this week, and it was of a young man standing in front of and if I'm not mistaken, this came from Danbury, Connecticut. Y'all fact checkers can get me together. It's Danbury in Connecticut, I think it is. But it was this young man there, and he has a permit to carry a pistol. So he had the pistol, in a holster on the side of him. And it appeared that he was standing right in front of the police department. Now, what we didn't see, according to me going further into his Facebook account and getting, to tea on what he was doing, what happened was the police officer walked up to him, a Hispanic police officer, and he went to trying to question him about did he have the right to carry a gun. Well, the young man was telling him, well, am I being detained? Is there a reason why you're asking me this? And the officer was like, no. He was very polite about it. Now, I don't know if he was polite because he did know that they were being filmed. He let it be known he knew. But, I don't know if, what was his reasoning for actually coming up to the guy asking him any question? Could have been that you sitting here with a gun in your holster on the side of you out in the open in front of the police department. I don't know. I don't know the laws in each particular state, as far as what you can do with your firearm and stuff, I carry a firearm. I have a permit to do so. I'm into guns very heavily. I love guns, Not because I want to shoot nobody. I just think, of the power behind each one, each gun has and what its capabilities are. And I'm just, I grew up like that because I grew up in a military household. So, point blank. That's how that happened. But, yeah, the story, the guy, the police officer walked up to him, and he asked him, did he have permission to have the gun, and the guy basically was asking him, is there a reason you're detaining me? Am I being detained? Is there a reason why you're asking me this question? And basically, once the officer said, no, you're not being detained, the dude said, well, thank you, sir, and walked off. And as he was walking off, his message was, know your rights. You don't have to answer certain questions. Now, like I said, the laws are different in each state. So, so I did read, through reading the comments on that particular article, there were some people that were saying that, in certain states that you have the right to carry a concealed weapon and they can't ask you no questions about it. Where I teach my boys is, look, if they ask you something, because to me, that could have turned into a bad situation if A, that man had not been aware that he was being recorded, and B, I honestly, there ain't no B. If he wouldn't have thought that if he wouldn't have known that he was being recorded, that could have turned into a really ugly situation. Because really, the officer wasn't being disrespectful or being rude to him. But I guess old boy's point was know your know your law. Know what you have to do and what you don't have to do. And if he asks you this question in a state where you don't have to answer that because they're not supposed to ask you, then I guess, point given. All right, I take that. But my thing was, it would have been that could have been turned into a really bad situation. And I always encourage my kids to just cooperate with them, you know. Now, don't let them put you in no shit to where, you know, you answering questions and shit. But the basic things, like, you know, if they want to see your ID, they stop and ask you your name, or, you know, if they want to search you, let them people go and do what the fuck they got to do. You know, I would rather you come back and tell me, mama, that, well, they stopped me, you know, and it was uncalled for, and maybe if it's bad enough, we can take it, you know, a step further the legal way than for you to buck them people and then give them just cause to shoot your ass, okay? That's what I'm saying. So, you know, that on top of this situation with the Walter Scott, Mr. Scott, I really feel, y'all, I'm so tired. I'm tired of it. I don't know what the solution is, you know. And then, for, you know, I attribute it to, we living in our last days now. For you people who are not religious buffs or whatnot, then, you know, you might want to click off this part or fast forward, because on my channel I speak about what I believe in, and I believe, you know, I believe in the Father that sits in, you know, heaven, who's up there preparing a place for me and you if you do what you're supposed to do to get on that. So I can't, you know, that's what I attribute it to, you know. It ain't nothing that I can go stand up before Congress and say, you know, but it is just the way of the world. For those of you who are religious buffs and have some belief, if you don't believe that we living in our last days, please check out Revelations. It will get you together real quick about what's going on. I mean, everything that it speaks about is coming to pass. So all I can say is, for those of us who are willing to listen, you might want to get your houses in order, you know. You might want to get right with the man, that, you know, because I hate for you to catch all this hell on earth and then leave this world and go into something even worse. Because on earth, our days are numbered, but each one of those days can be filled with a lot of, you know, treachery and turmoil. But we are promised that if we just keep hold of our faith, you know, he don't require a lot to bring some peace and harmony to your life. Now, every day ain't gonna be that way, because the enemy is always there. But he promises to arm you, and he promises to fight your battles, the ones you can't fight. And that has sustained me for 42 years, so that's the way I see it. Now, as far as what's going on with this in the world, as far as killing these guys, you know, these cops killing these people, I don't know what the answer is, y'all. I just know that whatever is proposed that is a good thing, I think we should everybody should do whatever they can, do their part to try to be a part of it, you know, to better this world that we living in, y'all. It's too many people getting killed for no reason, you know. So stop worrying about whether or not CNN gonna catch hold to the news, and you can make the, you know, you can make the news and be asked to come and speak. Do whatever it is that you're supposed to do. I do my little part. I try to teach my boys, and I talk to other young boys, you know, in the neighborhood and out about, you know, becoming productive citizens. Not being out here being, you know, a target for these people to treat you like shit and basically, you know, play Russian roulette with your life. You know, that's where I'm at with that. But I don't want to get too deep into that, because I actually am going to do a special in the news segment. I ain't going to put the shit on it. It's going to be a special in the news segment next week coming from me, where I am going to go into the... A lot of people have been sending me difficult articles, you know, of different injustices, and I'm going to go through them and, you know, research, so that when I talk about it, I got my facts, because I don't like talking without the receipts. And I'm, you know, basically it's just going to be me talking about what happened and my take on it. That's all it is, you know. It's not going to be nothing elaborate or nothing like this. It's just going to be a conversation with Lady Nika. That's what it is. That when y'all get ready to look for it next week, that's what it's going to be entitled, Conversations with Lady Nika, because it's just going to be me talking to y'all. That's all, you know. So I'm going to leave that alone. But again, my condolences go out to the Scott family. I hope that, justice is served and that you can find some peace. And I commend the person who came forward with the information that had the footage of what actually went down. God bless you and protect you. That's all I can say, because baby gonna need some protection. They gonna fuck with you. You can believe that. But we gonna pray that you stay safe. What else I done heard in the news? Y'all, okay, I know y'all was talking about that Kylie Jenner. Yeah, I don't get them people no damn. I don't give a damn what the Kardashian Jenner family is doing. I really don't. The only one I really halfway care somewhat about is Bruce, and that's because I'm interested in this transformation that he's going through. It said that he's supposed to be going through the steps of, transforming into a woman, and that he's always wanted to be one. And my opinion on that my worldly opinion is, do you be happy? I have no problem with that. If that's your truth and you haven't ever lived in it, then by all means do what you need to do to get there. My religious side would say, there's a couple of chapters I can give you about that, but I'm not the judge. So it's not for me to sit here and say that the man is right or he's wrong. I have always said since the first time I cut this camera on and uploaded the video, live your life, to the fullest. Live your life in your truth. And if his truth is that he's always wanted to be little, well, mother me, she call it from over there, Word on the Street, she be on the Guys at Brunch show too with Sayshawn Bradley and Nicholas. If y'all haven't checking that shit out, go over there and check that shit out. Guys at Brunch. And I think her Word on the Street is on YouTube. I'm not quite certain, but you can, you can look it up on Instagram. Word on the Street. It's with Misha. She goes by The Mother, Motha, on Instagram. But if he want to be Lil Phyllis or whatever, or Brenda or whatever he's trying to aspire to be, then all I can say is that's a private affair between him and his maker, and I don't have no comments on that other than to say that I hope that it makes you happy. If turning into a woman makes you happy, then that, hey, live and let live. That's what I feel. I don't have no big. I don't judge people, y'all. People do. It's a lot of shit I might question, but I don't have a judgment call for that man because I don't know the life he lived. And I ain't gonna lie, if I'd have been married to a bitch like Kris Jenner, I probably wanted to turn into something else too. Cause oh my God, child, are you kidding me now? Girl, I can't do them damn Kardashians. Not name one of them. And I think he just so over them. Other than his cheer, he is just so over it. That man, shit. As soon as I guess he's shit. Chris was the last one, bitch. I'm not dealing with now another one. No, this bitch here has. This bitch has shown me that this is what I need to be doing. So I'll never run into another bitch like her. But okay. Anyway, good luck to you, Bruce. And I will be watching the interview, honey. This Friday night coming up, I will be watching. The next thing, y'all heard about Lil Plies, y'all. Somebody came, well, it was this guy out in he was doing a performance, a guy out in the stage area, well, out in the audience area, and I guess for some reason his security allowed the man to come on stage. When what I was told and the reports I read, and when I checked back to see what Rox was going to say over there for his rock, she said that Plies invited him up there thinking that, this is just a fan. And the man kept getting close to him, and he was telling the man, we can shake hands or whatnot, but we men, we don't need to be that close up on each other. Well, next thing we know, we see him body slam Polar Plies into the audience. And they gave him a child. They two-pieced his ass. They two-pieced him and gave him foot action all at the same time. But what I have to say about that, every fucking member of his security team needs to be unemployed today. Because you in security work, I know you are supposed to be trained to be able to contemplate certain situations. You're supposed to be able to tell by certain gestures and motions and, body languages people give off that it could turn into a situation that wasn't so good. And when he had to keep telling the man he was too close to me, if you didn't get the indication that the dude was inebriated when you let him on the stage, when he got up there, you could tell. And I think that they should have done something about this shit, but they didn't do shit about it. And, you know, he wound up being able to body slam Plies, and I'm just glad that he wasn't hurt, you know. He wasn't hurt, you know. Dude got fucked up far worse, you know. But it's just... Child, you need to get you some better security, honey, because they letting the crazies through. Somebody gonna be done fucked your little ass up. And I don't want to be fucked up like that. I like Plies, I ain't gonna lie. I always did like a little freak ass. So, you know, shit. Whatever. Get some better security. I mean, shit, you alright. I know you got a couple coins. That damn show is something I know. You got some coins, motherfucker, because I gave you plenty of it. So, you know, tend to that, baby, before they been and fucked your little ass up, because you ain't nothing but a bite-sized shit. That nigga tried to take out the bite-size. But anyway, moving right along. Now, last thing I'm going to talk about is, now y'all know, I don't review this shit, right? But I had watched them R&B Divas, and Charlie upset me so bad I had to come in and say something about it. Now, ain't no motherfucking way, y'all. Ain't no motherfucking way. Bitch, you invited me to your house. Okay, Lila, you invited. See, I got a problem with Miss Oprah now, baby. Looking like Oprah from the 90s. Bitch, you gonna invite this woman over here. And all she said was she didn't want to go on a fucking trip to fucking Palm Springs with you hoes, because y'all already mistreat her. Now, if you know she ain't talking about you, why the fuck did you even get buck with her? I thought that was the stupidest shit I ever seen. Y'all basically tried to double team, triple team this woman because she say, I don't want to go on a trip because the bitch is going to be mean to me. Okay, history made her say that. Did she... Lil Mo was trying to throw the bitch off a fucking cliff over in Puerto Rico. Kelly Price had she came with her tennis shoes. You know, the woman has steady been attacked. So no, I work with you hoes because this is a part of our job. But no, bitch, I don't want to motherfucking go nowhere with you, bitch. I'm fine. I don't need to have no woosah moment with you motherfuckers in order for me to be up on this stage and go in this recording booth and do my job, because I'm a diva. I'm Shantae Moore. Recognize it, bitch. And I don't understand where they get this cowardly lion-looking motherfucking Stacey Francis from. Bitch, I looked you up. I don't see nothing. The only claim to fame you got is you probably schemed your way onto the X Factor or whatever. You done had an illegitimate child by the good bishop over there off the Preachers of L.A., Noel Jones. You done had a baby by him. And bitch, your other claim to fame is that Whitney had to put them motherfucking paws on you. And judging by the way you act, I see why. And then for you to stand up there and say that you the best motherfucking diva in the area, bitch, are you kidding me? Yeah, you a diva and screaming and howling at a hoe is what makes you get some coin, but that ain't helped you none. Girl, your voice is whack, okay? Your voice is whack. You one of them bitches that do background at the church on Sunday. That's what kind of voice you got. You are not no outstanding front lead vocalist. You come from a girl group back in what, the 80s, 90s, whatever, ex-girlfriend, girlfriend, some shit like that. You was a backup singer for them bitches. Like I said, this bitch got a church voice. Y'all know the difference between a church voice and a bitch that can really sing. At church, they not gonna tell you your shit ain't on point because you singing for the Lord. But when you go out here and try to make $1 for it, that's when people tell you the truth. And you haven't noticed that in this so-called 20-year career you had, who know you? What's your claim to fame? Being slapped by the diva Whitney? Girl, I ain't got time to be fucking with no motherfucking Stacey Francis. What I will say is, Shantae, sweetheart, I mean, you know, like I said, I don't review this motherfucking shit, but somebody tell Shantae I say. I don't review this shit, but I do watch it, and the way you handled yourself, I give you much motherfucking respect, because it could not have been a bitch named me. It could not have been a bitch. I would have worked that bitch out, baby, I would have whooped her ass track by track. And y'all know the Cowardly Lion got a whole lot of fucking track. I can't believe that TV One, well, I don't know who to blame. Nikki Gilbert, Faith Evans, TV One, any of you motherfuckers that's got something, all y'all. Y'all mean to tell me y'all would rather have a bitch like Stacey Francis on the show, cooking up all kinds of bullshit every damn chance she get, than to have invested in keeping Chris said? And Chris said, girl, I see why you left. I am not mad at you for leaving, because I would have left too. I mean, how you gonna come up on this woman and get mad because she didn't want to go to dinner with you? Bitch, I would have stood you up too. You came to my motherfucking event supposed to support me, but bitch, you back there trying to run me. You back there trying to run me down about what the fuck went on in my marriage. What the fuck? Was he fucking you too, bitch? Was you a part of the marriage? I ain't never seen no dumb shit like that. I'm telling you, y'all, I don't review it, but I do watch it, and I can tell you this much. If they keep this bitch, because see, we about to be at the end of this, so we can't really just say, we can't jump ship on a bitch. But I can tell you this, if this bitch comes back for another season on here, I won't be watching this shit. I will not be watching it. I won't give you bitches no rating. I won't do shit. Miss Chalet, girl, you, if Shantae leave, my advice to you, I know you really want to, you need it and shit. But Miss Chalet, we done seen you for 3 seasons, girl. We'll buy your shit. All you gotta do is get your ass on in the studio and get the belt and out some shit. We will buy it, girl. You got us. We ain't never leave. We remember something in our motherfucking heart. We remember nicety. Shantae, get your ass in the studio. Get your ass off this damn show around this hood red. These bitches ain't contrario. These hoes is just straight rats, birds. Get away from these birds. Get away from that bird that is Little Mo, and get away from that bird that is Stacey Francis. Brave run, bitch. You supposed to be R&B Diva, but I believe you need to be on the sisterhood of hip hop. That's where you probably should be. But I don't got no problem with you. You alright with me. You a cool little girl. You believe in the Lord and everything. So you alright with me, bitch. But what I don't like is, I don't like that motherfucking Lil Mo. I don't like that goddamn Stacey. And I don't like this bitch named Leela. Leela, I even bought your shit. Be trying to support you. I ain't never really seen it for you, bitch. I ain't really, just be honest with you, till the R&B Divas LA came on. I ain't never heard of you, bitch, and I'm deep in the R&B, but I ain't never heard of you. But because you came in there and you stayed in your right lane, and you seemed like the one that wanted to keep the peace the most, I went head on and supported you and went and bought your motherfucking shit. But bitch, you ain't got to worry about it. That's the last time, because I ain't see it for you nowhere no more. Yeah, I know use another bitch can go to the church with that damn voice. I know hoes that got that soulful voice, got that Marvin Gaye shit going on. Girl, you ain't doing nothing special. And I thought you was a different type of bitch, because you sitting up here and you done went the fuck off on this woman. Now, the AfterBuzz show had Stacey regular ass on there, and the bitch was talking about Leela got mad because Shantae didn't want to eat no fucking spaghetti. Bitch, everybody don't want to eat everybody's cooking. She don't know you like that, bitch, even though y'all done been together on what, about 3 seasons together, whatever. I still wouldn't eat at every bitch house. I don't know you like that. And if I don't want to eat it, I don't want to eat it. You can't take it offensively because I didn't want to eat your motherfucking food, bitch. What you do is just be happy I showed the fuck up here, that I'm interested in working in this shit. But I would be a motherfucking fool if I would get on that stage and loan my voice with this bitch don't want me on the track. Girl, you stupid as fuck if you do that, goddamn it, Shantae. Now, I like you, Shantae. I like you. But girl, you been catching it too long. These bitches is mad. They hating on you because you're a beautiful woman, even in your 40s. And I don't know, now 40-year-old that could tell, no bitch that could tell me I'm a bitch in my 40s. I wish one of my homegirls would tell me where I'm gonna go. Lil Mo started telling you that you gonna go. I would have told her, hold up, bitch, hold up. You might run your motherfucking mouth and the niggas you fuck, but what you will not do is tell a bitch my age at this stage of my life what I'm gonna do. Now I say I ain't going with you bitches, and I ain't going with you bitches. A part of my contract with TV One, don't say I got to be around you hoes like that, so we ain't going. Now you hoes go and have y'all self a wonderful time at the cheap ass Hard Rock cafe hotel in Palm Spring. Bitch, gone on. I done been there. I done been places like that before. That ain't no motherfucking trip for me. So you bitches gone on and motherfucking have y'all fun and get your relax, release, and relate on. And when you come back, a true diva who ain't got to do all that shit gonna be sitting right here ready to cut this track. What it do, ho? Then when the woman leave, because you done asked her to get out your house, she ain't booked. We would have had a fight, bitch, in your motherfucking house. I just would have been paying you for all the motherfucking shit that I tore up. But it ain't no motherfucking way you gonna invite me to my house and gang me, bitch, please. Ain't no motherfucking way that could have happened to me, baby, y'all. I'm not bullshitting. I was so red. I was sitting on the edge of my motherfucking bed swinging for fucking Shantae, because it couldn't have been me. Bitch, you don't try to ambush a bitch like me, because I'm the bitch that will get bucked with you in your fucking house. Now, y'all have to pardon the Lord. You know, I have to ask the Lord to pardon my heart for what I done did. Take that sin away from me, Jesus, and cut her a check. But I would have put my foot so far up in her motherfucking... Y'all, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.